you?
I'm great. How are you? Smokey.
So where are we going today?
We're going to head over to Radio Kismet Studios over in Spring Art Section, and we're going to do a podcast recording with Eric and Ryan Burley of the Franklin Fountain and Shane's Confectionery.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Yep. Dogs first.
Smokey first, I guess.
So I'm going to tell you the story that's going to go back to 2014. I usually would get off work around 10:30. I'd catch the 11:04 train up to New York City. About 9 minutes into the train ride, I felt like a unusual shudder, a little bit more than you would normally feel. And in a split second, the train had derailed. The next thing I know, I'm like catapulted into the air, and this is it goes through my mind.
What's up, Andrew?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, bud. Hey, guys. How are you? Good to see you. What's up, brother?
Why did you decide to tell your story in the beginning of the podcast?
My identity has always been a chef, and it will still, in my mind, it will always be I'm a chef. However, when I decided to do a podcast to try to help tell the stories of other chefs, other restaurateurs, I think that was important so that individuals that find the podcast that don't really know who I am, they can learn a little bit more about me.
The next thing I know, my neck smashes into a luggage rack at over 100 miles an hour, and I fall to the ground in a heap. And at that moment, while I didn't know the severity of it, I did know my life had changed pretty drastically.
I think that story and the way that we did it kind of gets you feeling a certain way as if you were there and as if you were kind of witnessing it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Chef Radio Podcast. We are in the Radio Kismet Studios here in the Spring Art section of Philadelphia. I have two really great guests in front of me right now. We have Ryan and Eric Burley. For the listeners, full disclosure in this, I am both a supporter, friend, and neighbor to these guys. I have to tell my son at least 10 times a weekend, we can't have it again.
We started working on the podcast in December of 2019. It was on March 15th was when we were planning on releasing the first episode. At that point, everything was going on, so COVID hitting, so we were like, okay, what do we do now? So after we released them, we did a quick sort of update so that people could hear where that chef was and where that restaurant, sort of how they were handling the COVID at that point.
I went in with one of my chefs and we cleaned out all of the walk-ins, anything that we can give away to the staff, proteins and vegetables and stuff that we can give to people. We kind of just left them out. There's toilet paper, disinfectant wipes, all the stuff.
Wow, you're giving away toilet paper, man.
Yeah,
the Boss of the Year award.
Yeah, and then we closed up and it was sad.
People follow these chefs and people want to know what's going on. And then we sort of evolved it into bringing 4 or 5 people together and saying, how can we use COVID as an opportunity to sort of reset some of the expectations?
Breweries are inherently places of community. I think all of us sort of have that mindset about the work that we do, which is one of the reasons that being shut down is so hard.
I don't think there's a podcast that went by that we did not bring up COVID.
Are we going to be out for a month? Are we going to be out for 3 months? Like nobody still knows.
Okay.
And that's the worst part, is the not knowing for a business owner and a restaurant owner.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
And if you listen to them in order, you'll hear how people are evolving and sort of applying their new normal, as each chef was. So you can kind of get an idea of what the restaurant industry itself was thinking over the last 12 to 18 months.
You have a very busy, active life, and you still have to manage your restaurants. How do you feel that being focused on all of those activities that you have to do helped you recover physically and emotionally?
I remember distinctly coming home from the hospital in 2015. And I remember being so depressed and sad. Over time, ensuring that I'm staying busy is really ensuring that I'm happy. So yeah, there's days that are still tough because there's still challenges. Every single little thing that you do on a daily basis in an able body, you have to grieve, and your brain has to adjust, and it takes time for it to adjust. Like being a father, right? Like kicking the ball around, throwing the ball around. These are things that I always imagined myself doing, but so those are hard days. Spring is here and the city is starting to buzz again, so outdoor events, concerts are back, and I'm really looking forward to taking advantage of those again. There has been opportunity for me to sort of realign my values, and I think that was a blessing in disguise for sure.
Smokey likes them too. See?